Welcome to YOUCANIC. Today here in YOUCANIC we have a 2016 Mazda CX-5. We're going to go over how you would replace this safety latch. This is your hood safety latch. This is the secondary safety, and then you've got your normal latch. Say this latch hasn't been working for you very well, it's getting jammed and stuck, and you want to replace it. To start with, we have a series of some push pins on the top and Phillips screws to take out, as well as some on the bottom. That'll either be screws or nuts. So we have this push pin over here. Get under it and pull it out. And you'll remove that, pull it and pull it toward you. And then that way we get access to two more push pins that are holding the bumper on. And then we have the two Phillips screws heads here. So there's one on this side, one on this side. We got the manual screws out. That gives the bumper freedom on the top side, and now we'll remove the components on this side. So what we need to get this part of the molding to come undone from the bumper, so we don't need to remove all of the molding. And this one's missing the fender well, but if you have the fender well in there, you need to remove the push pins that are on that side of the fender well. And then we can be able to pull this portion of the bumper away. And so we have an additional screw here. And then there's one screw slash bolt in here. And then we be able to pull that portion of the bumper away. We will do this same, well, we don't have those fancy screws over here, but we got some push pins in there, and I'm going to go along the bottom. So you would go along here in the front, there would be some push pins. Over that way, we're missing a portion of our splash shield. We have some push pins, and we have some screws that are attached here to remove. Okay, so that was all the screws. And then you'll need to pull this portion of the splash shield down to gain access to some more push pins that are holding the bumper on. Same thing on the other side. And so there was 3 screws here, and this is part of the fender well. It screws and attaches to your bumper. And then we have push pins here. There should be enough there, and now we just need to get this to come separated from the bumper. Okay, so we got that freed from there. Okay, so with this freed from the bumper side, we have one more bolt or screw that we need to remove right here. And that's on the bumper, and then we can pull this away. We'll have the electric. For the fog light, we'll need to unhook tighten the clips that hold it on right here. And now we should be able to grip and pull the bumper out, and then we'll need to unhook the fog light as well as one on the other side. Okay, so the fog light's unhooked, and then there was a pin holding the wire in there. Now should be able to just pull this bumper off. Okay, so it's clear, and we are able to remove our bumper. You've removed the bumper first, and now we have access in here. So you're going to pop this. There's a plastic cover here. We just need to pop up. We have the cable that when you pull it from inside, it unlocks it. So we pop that up. And you'll be able to just get the cable to move out and move that out. Then we have two number 10mm bolts that are behind here to undo, and we'll be able to twist this up and out. So these are the two number 10. And with those two number 10 bolts out, you'll be able to maneuver this switch out, or the safety latch and the whole latch. And then you'll take a new one and be able to just take your new one. I lubed it all up. You should take a new one and just be able to reinstall it, lining it up, starting the screws. This will also, if you need to just adjust this up a little bit because it's not closing right, just loosen them, and these are slotted so they'll slide up and down to get the best latching in your for your hood to latch. And once you got it where it needs to be, and that's going to be a matter of closing the hood, seeing where it sits, and then doing the fine tuning here, and then tightening those up. And then we gotta make sure that we hook this cable back up by routing it. Behind the clip there, locking it into place here. And that's how you would replace your safety latch on your 2016 Mazda CX-5. You put your grab the bumper, bring it up to the vehicle. Okay, we brought it up and into alignment, and I'm going to put in just these two push pins at the moment to hold it in place while I do the sides. Okay, so we have one push pin on each side installed, and so this process, we have our left fender well and our right fender well They're both going to be the same process, so we'll just go over the portions in this right fender well, and then you just have an assortment of, there's a little cover plate here, and some push pins to be pushed in there, a few screws here, or 2 on each side that hold the bumper on in the top portion, and then you have the splash shield that bolts onto the bottom of the bumper, and be able to get that bolted into place. So on this side, we're going to have to pull this at least back a little bit, this molding. We don't have to pull it completely off, but we have to pull it back a bit because we have a bolt that we need to get access to right there. And so now that we have access to that bolt, we need to work the bumper down under the light itself. And we've got that all locked and tabbed up into place there. And now we have this bolt here that's a Phillips head slash a bolt. So a number 10 or a P3 is what you would need. There we go. That's good and snug there. And now you'll be able to take this, line it up, and we snap it all the way down into the bumper. Now we have the fog light down here. You want to make sure you hook that up before you put everything completely together. Right? So we have that installed down, these push pins here pushed into the side of the bumper. And so back here in the fender well, you're going to have a push pin you need to put in up here, as well as 2 different push pins and 1 more push pin right there. And then that will be all the push pins that you need to put in inside the fender well. There we go. So that's all you need to do there in the fender well. So you repeat that on the other side, and then this will be a series of getting this up and under, screwing the screws in, push pins on the bottom around the splash plate, work your way around, do the same on this fender well on the left of the vehicle, and then the last thing. And so then up here we have 4 screws. So you have the 4 screws up top here, and these are a P3. So you tighten all those 4 screws down, make sure you put this cover back on, 4 push pins here, and then the bottoms with the splash shield. And so that would be how you would essentially reinstall your front bumper. Thanks for watching YOUCANIC, where you can be